You guys, what up, man? It's your main man here, double to that age, man. So, as I promised, I'm giving you a non-spoiler breakdown of Avengers Endgame. So this is just my advice to you guys before I get into this non-spoiler review, because I don't want to spoil it for some people. Don't go on social media. If you don't want this to be spoiled for you, don't go on social media, don't read this comments. Now, if you don't care about it being spoiled for you, then look, man, do whatever the hell you want. You know, it's down to you. But if you're looking forward to this film and you don't want this to be spoiled for you, because my advice is, if you don't want things to be spoiled for you, I would advise you to not look at the comments on this video or go on social media, because there are sad, useless, pathetic, useless people in this world who all they want to do, because they think they're cool, is to spoil and ruin the experiences for people. Again, we just have to live with these people, unfortunately. But these are the bottom of the bottom. These are the most useless creatures that we have on the planet, who just want to ruin things for people and mess things up for people just for laughs and because they just want to be cool and gain attention. So my advice is, stay off social media. Don't read these comments, because there will be people out there, I guarantee, that will want to spoil this for you. So without further ado, let me give you this is a non-spoiler review, because I don't want to spoil for anyone. See, off the bat, and I think I said this before, like, I wasn't a fan of Infinity War. I felt that Infinity War lacked a strong narrative. It was just pretty much a war of things happening, and there just wasn't enough story involved in Infinity War. But you put Infinity War to one side, and you now look at Endgame. Endgame is, even if there are similarities between Endgame and Infinity War, it is very different in approach. It feels different, and I think the major difference is there is more character development in Endgame, and there is much more story in Endgame, and it is much slower. Because remember, this is a 3-hour film, and they're pretty much bringing everything together in this film. And for me, I appreciated that much more than in Infinity War. I just said, in Infinity War, all we were just seeing was just events happening. So events happening there, events happening there, events happening there, and just these different events happening in different places. But you didn't really get anything that was truly focused, story-wise. But I just felt that, in Endgame, you really felt that there was a better focus on character, a better focus on story, a better focus on dialogue, the characters were much better drawn, and we were able to absorb them a lot more. And I think one of the biggest things is Captain America. Like, so that's my guy. That's my favorite character in this whole MCU thing. And he got completely shortchanged in Infinity War. Like, literally, just blink and you pretty much miss him in Infinity War. But I think in this, he is the focal point and the centerpiece of this story. And I think that, because again, I don't want to give too much away, but I think the bulk of this film is about them trying to figure out a way of pretty much bringing back the old heroes. And they have to go on this pretty crazy dynamic mission of where people are in different teams, and they have to pretty much complete their missions in order to do something that would allow them to bring back those heroes that were lost back at the end of Infinity War. And when you just see those things happening, and because the beauty about this is that before we even get to those missions, we've already had such a great build-up of character where we've looked at the repercussions. I think that's the key thing. We look at the repercussions of what happened in Infinity War, what the world is like, and the nature of the world after in Infinity War. And we'll also see how these characters pretty much build up, come together and work as a team in order to go on this kind of daring mission. So I think overall thoughts, and I think this is the key thing with overall thoughts, because I was talking to many people, about it and stuff, and I think, I was talking to my bro about it. I was talking to my family friend about it. Talked to the homie Jaded One about it. I talked to many people about it. Talked to my boy, the Shaq's kid, and this is where I came at it when I was just discussing to these people about it. There are two minds I have of this film. It's almost about the Marvel films and films to today. There are two minds. There's the real mind of me, then there's the modern mind. So you see, the real mind of me comes from, you see, I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. So the films I had growing up with was Indiana Jones, Terminator 2, Back to the Future. These were what you called the big blockbuster films, and they were made in a very certain way. You know, the villains were drawn in a very certain way, the heroes were drawn in a very certain way, and the journey between the heroes and the villains were all done in a very certain way. You know, because there were basic rules that I just grew up with as this is how you construct the hero villain story. But I think so if I'm looking at it from that real point of view, and I look at this thing in Endgame, there are many issues with this film. There are many things that it breaks many rules that it shouldn't break. You know, because again, I'm all for things and films breaking rules and everything, but there are many rules that this film's break that I don't feel that it should break with regards to how you present a villain, how the heroes go against the villain, and just the basics of a story of this nature, how you present a battle, things you have to do within a battle, and all the kind of different things that I can pretty much break down. So if I'm going to be realistic about it, there are issues in Endgame that I had with Infinity War, based on how you should make a blockbuster, how you make the heroes, how you make the villain. That's my real brain. But as I was sitting down and I got finished with this, I said, you know what? There is no point in me using my real brain with this. Because if ever there's a film in which you should forego its misgivings and shortcomings and just enjoy the moments, it's this. It's this. You see, Transformers, the films are trash. Star Wars is trash. Those things shouldn't give me misgivings. But if you're a fan of Iron Man, you're a fan of Captain America, you're a fan of Black Panther, there are moments in this that you just have to cheer. And even for me, like, there were just moments, because for me, Captain America had the biggest moments in this film, which is why I have to see it again. Because I have to, because again, that is my main character. Like, my favorite film of the MCU, one of my favorite comic book films, for me personally, is First Avenger, Captain America. Just the way that story is told and everything, personally, that's just one of my favorites. And they're just some things, some little moments and some big moments that Captain America has that I was like, nah, man, it just hits you. It just emotionally, it just hits me. Some of the moments and some of just the scenes and the things that he has, some of the shots that were done portraying him. And especially in the cinema that I was watching with, like, there is one thing that Captain America has that I guarantee you everybody in your cinema will be like, wow. And that is why I've been online and said, don't allow this to be ruined for you. Because there is because I was off social media on Sunday, I knew nothing. So I literally knew nothing. I didn't have any of the leaks, nothing about it. And when this thing happens, concerning Captain America, the whole cinema erupted. And I was like, are you kidding me? Seriously, are you flipping kidding me? I was like, wow. And I can almost promise you that everybody will say the same thing, because there is just, obviously, remember, there are many moments, there are many big moments, but there's just one moment that surprises everyone, which is why the Russos went out of the way to say, don't spoil this for anyone, because if this moment gets spoiled for you, it won't have the same effect. But if this moment isn't spoiled for you, and when you see it happen, you will just go insane. You'll be like, what? Because you'd never see it coming. You'd never see this moment coming. So, but I think when you just look at this film overall, it's like, it's in two minds. So that's why I've got to put my real critical view based on a guy born in the 80s, grown up in the 90s. I've got to put that to one side. Because I just feel that the moments this gives me, the way this thing ends, the way it wraps things together, I was like, all right, because they do, again, I don't want to give anything away. They do something I didn't think they would do. Because I thought it's Marvel now. They do something that I didn't think that they would do. And when they do this thing, I was like, wow. that. Because I didn't think you'd do. So when they do what they did, because trust me, there's a moment. I told you about the Captain America moments. There's another moment in this film that when it happens, that's what I'm saying. Not saying anymore. There's another moment in this film now when it happens, it's like it's a very big move. It's a very big move in the film. So you see, overall, again, if I'm judging this by a film, again, it's not the most amazing film. It's not the most well structured film. If you compare it to like a Terminator 2, you compare it to a Back to the Future 1, a Back to the Future 2, you compare it to Indiana Jones, it doesn't hold a candle to those films. But those are the greatest blockbusters of all time. People just do not make films like those anymore. And that's why those are called classics, timeless classics that you can show to your kids, grandkids, and so forth. But in 2019, for this generation, like Star Wars isn't relevant. Nobody cares about the rise of Brick Walker. No one cares about that. Okay, so as far as this generation goes, this is this generation's Back to the Future. This is this generation's Terminator. This is this generation's Matrix. And as I look back and say, I'm fine with it. I am totally cool with this thing breaking records. Like, if this thing makes more money than Force Awakens, I'll be so happy, because Force Awakens was trash, complete and utter trash, garbage movie that doesn't deserve to make that much money. So if this breaks the record of Force Awakens, totally deserved, and I'm totally behind it. If this film, you see, I don't think this can break Avatar's record. But I believe that this film stands the best chance, based on 11 years, what has been going on, this film stands the best chance of breaking the record of Avatar. Because this is such a unique film. And I think that's another thing I ever want to start on. When Kevin Feige started this back in 2008, remember, this was done in the comics. What was done in the comics of, like, you had Captain America in Iron Man story, Iron Man in the Fantastic Four story, the Fantastic Four in the X-Men. So you had the whole thing of Marvel versus DC. So comic book characters going into each other's stories was always done. But the thing was that's cool in the comics. Could it ever work in film? So once Iron Man came out, and that was like a decent film, Downey Jr. inspired, amazing casting, and you saw Nick Fury at the end say, boom, we're launching this Avengers initiative. And I remember when the Avengers trailer came out, I was like, this looks stupid. This is not going to work. It works in the comics, it looks stupid. And when you watch the Avengers film and it's worked, I was like, oh my gosh, are these guys really going to be able to do it? And how they were able to come all the way to this, because the reason why this stands the best chance of touching, I don't think it will beat Avatar. It just won't. Avatar, that makes no sense. But the reason why this at least stands a chance, even if it will fail, at least if the reason why this stands a chance is because this is such a unique kind of film based on almost the majority of people having seen all the Marvel movies. Because the Marvel movies are so popular, they're so well received, they have the perfect blend of comedy and drama. That is why this stands such a huge chance. And I think that's why another issue I have had with this film, and even most Marvel films, that I'm not a fan of the comedy and the use of comedy. See, the reason why Captain America First Avenger was so good was the comedy was well done. The reason why Avengers was so good, to a point, was the comedy was well done. But I think First Avenger was the comedy was just on point, perfect. The drama was on point. That's why for me, that's First Avenger, in my opinion, is my personal favorite of all the MCU movies. But still, going back to my point, this is such a unique film because of the journey that people have gone through. Because most people have watched all the movies, the Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Avengers, all the kind of stuff, and it's all culminated in this. So you've really gone on this journey with people. And the film that I saw, like, I will recommend this. The Man on the Road, I'm recommending this movie to watch. If I just say Man on the Road, I'm like, go watch this. And the Man on the Road, more likely than not, will enjoy this film. Because I feel most people will love the comedy. Most people will connect with the emotional beats. And most people will really be emotionally attached to the very epic finale of this. So that's why I just think that this film is going to be so successful and people are going to love this movie. And like, because I told you, like, in a sense, if somebody gave this movie a 5 star and said it was amazing, I'd be like, that's cool. I wouldn't argue with you. I would argue with anybody calling Force Awakens or Last Jedi amazing. I would argue with anybody calling Transformers amazing. But anybody calling this amazing, especially if you're of this generation, I'll be like, I totally get it. I may not say it's amazing, but I totally understand why you say it's amazing, and I support why you say it's amazing for you and your generation and how you view it. You know, so if it's me, 1,000% I fully recommend to you to view this. You know, again, I will give my full-on spoiler review. My spoiler across because there are things I have to say. That's why they're just things I have to say, but I cannot say them because I'm keeping this non-spoiler. But yeah, I would just say that the best way to go into this movie is just go in there just to enjoy the ride. Don't go in there trying to be overtly critical of things of, okay, well, how does this work? This doesn't work. This doesn't make any sense. If you go in there like that, then you'll not enjoy yourself. And life is too short, guys. Life is too short. This is one of those films where you go in there, popcorn, relaxed, chilled, and just go in there just to enjoy the ride. You'll enjoy the film. You'll enjoy the film, and you will cheer when the moments come on. And after you come away, you'll be like, man, that was an enjoyable experience. It was an enjoyable experience, you know. So, yeah, man, they pulled through, man. And what a journey. I can't. All I'd say is this began in 2008, and this kind of section ending in 2019, 11 years. And I think this has been quite an incredible 11 years of this consistent filmmaking with this ethos. So Kevin Feige and the whole Marvel team and what they've done, the Russos, Christopher Marcos, Stephen McFeely, your boy Sylvester, all the people that pretty much came together, especially with this film. Well done on, because this is truly quite an achievement. And I think as far as the modern blockbuster goes for the modern film of this time, which is different because we live in different times, you know, this gets a full-on A1 from me. So guys, I'm going to drop my spoiler review next, but yeah, go out, watch this film, and again, trust me, when that moment happens, that, then, which, I'll see you when I do the spoiler review. Peace.